Welcome to Inspirational Slow Flow Yoga. It's great to have you guys this morning. We are going to start on our back. So if you have a couple blankets or a couple beach towels, I'm going to have you take one that's going to go flat underneath your seat, and then we're just going to curl up the top part of that to fill the space in the low back. If this is uncomfortable in any way, just either flatten it or remove it entirely. And then we'll create a little neck roll too. So same thing, flattening it, and then we'll curl up the bottom edge to fill the space in the neck. So we're filling the natural curves in our spine, and the cervical spine and the lumbar spine. So come onto your back, and we're going to start with the knees bent in constructive rest. So the knees will be bent with the feet on the floor, allowing the thigh bones to just kind of seep back into the hip sockets, but also creating a little bit of release for that low back. And again, you can curl this up to fill the space in the low back or not, and then make sure your head feels nice and supported too. Bring your palms to face upward, maybe out to the sides or alongside the hips, or maybe even in cactus arms, whatever feels best for you. But we're trying to kind of open up into the chest. So maybe slide those shoulder blades toward each other on the back side of your heart to create some opening through the chest. And then just close your eyes. Allow your body to begin to settle into the shape. Just feeling the weight of your body contacting the earth, being supported on your mat here. Take a moment, just kind of scan the body, noticing how you feel, any physical sensations in the body, without labeling them as good or bad, maybe just giving them descriptive words, like tight, or spacious, or dense, or whatever word comes to mind. And you might feel seemingly opposite feelings in various parts of your body. So we can't change what we're not aware of. This is just information that guides our practice so that we can show up for ourselves and give our body what it needs. Begin to slow and deepen your breathing, drawing that breath in through the nose, filling in maybe to a count of 3 or 4. Holding at the top of that breath for a count or 2. And then we'll exhale out for the same count as our inhale, so maybe a count of 3 or 4. Pausing at the bottom of the breath for a count of 2. And just continue like this for a few rounds. So we're just starting to observe and regulate our breath. This brings peace and calm to our nervous system, to our mind, and helps to bring us into a space of presence, a mind-body connection here. So inhaling again, a count of 3 or 4. Pausing at the top for a few counts. Exhaling back out for a count of 3 or 4. And pausing at the bottom. If you'd like and it feels more comfortable to you, you can extend out the inhales and or the exhales to find a rhythm that just kind of suits your body in this moment. And as you breathe, I want you to really feel into the sensations of the breath. So feel the breath moving in through the nose, through the back of the throat, and into the lungs. Feel the expansion into the chest and the belly. And as you exhale, feel the breath leaving the body, emptying out. Maybe squeezing every drop out so that you can make space for a fresh new inhale. This breath, known as prana in Sanskrit, means life, life force, spirit, soul. It also means courage or vigor. And as we practice pranayama, it's known as the extension of the breath or the extension of the life. Slow, deep, rhythmic breathing help keep us out of fight or flight in our rest and digest nervous system so the body can heal, restore, renew, and go back to homeostasis. So continue to breathe this breath in. I want to spend some time. I know that a lot of us have been just challenged by what's happening in the world around us. And it's common for us to kind of question and wonder, like, what is the purpose of all of this? What is the purpose of my life? Just some of those existential questions that can show up during times of struggle and strife or times of confusion. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how our individual lives have meaning and purpose. Megan Roberts writes, "You are not here by chance, and your existence is not meaningless. There's a purpose for your life, and only you can live that purpose out. Without you in this world, there would be a gaping hole that no one could ever fill. You deserve the place you have in this world, and you were meant to be here. Never doubt that." Each and every one of us are here for a reason, for a purpose, with unique gifts to offer and share. And only you can fill that space, can live that purpose out. Take a moment and let those words land. Maybe as you breathe them in as if they are true, believing those words. Feel an expansion into your chest, expansion into your body. We're here for a reason, for a purpose. Beginning to ground down into those feet. We're going to start to do some pelvic tilt. So I want you to imagine that your pelvis is like a bowl here. And right now the bowl is full of water and that bowl is flat. So it's not pouring out in any direction. On your inhale, I want you to arch the spine even more, tilting your pelvic bowl forward as if you're trying to pour out toward your feet. On the exhale, draw your navel toward your spine, flatten the back, let your tail curl up slightly, pouring that bowl back toward your face. Good, we're gonna continue to move like this. So on the inhale, arching the spine. On the exhale, flattening the back, curling that seat up, maybe even letting the tail lift slightly off the mat. Good. Continue to move like this, feeling that expansion and opening on the inhale. And on the exhale, feeling that contraction, squeezing that breath out. Perhaps you're making a bit of an exchange with every breath. Maybe there's an intention for your practice today that goes along with this idea of purpose. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and find a neutral space once again with the spine. And then take a block, if you have one, and place it between the thighs. If you don't have a block, just imagine a block is there and begin to kind of engage the legs and imagine that you're holding something between those thighs. We're going to begin to press into those feet and engage the legs by hugging that block. Draw the navel to your spine so that back is flat and the core is engaged. And then on your inhale, we're going to begin to lift those hips high, peeling our spine up off of the mat, one vertebrae at a time, starting at the bottom, moving all the way up into the chest. Good. On the exhale, slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time, starting at the top, working our way back down. Almost imagine your vertebrae like pearls on a string, going one by one up that string. Good. We're going to do this again. Inhaling, lifting, opening into the chest. Exhaling, lowering. Coming all the way back down. Beautiful. Inhale, lift, coming up. And exhale, lower, coming back down. Beautiful. Next time on the inhale, lift. And while you're up here, we'll move that blanket out from underneath our seat. See if you can bring this back bend all the way up into the chest. Feel the engagement of those legs, core engage as well. And then we're going to slowly lower down once again, finding our way to the bottom. Good. Keeping the block between the thighs, go ahead and bring the knees up. Flex the feet, so we're hugging the block. Take your arms to the sides like wings. And on the exhale, begin to bring the knees over to the right. Just start small, so we're only going a little ways, but keeping that left shoulder grounded. On the inhale, bring the knees back up. On the exhale, take the knees over to the left, keeping the right shoulder grounded. Inhale, back up to center. Continue to move like this. Maybe coming a little lower with each pass to each side, but all the while keeping the shoulder blades on the mat. Make sure you're tightening into your core to protect your low back. Keep breathing. Good. We're going to come back to center. Release the feet back down to the floor with the knees bent. And just remove the block. Nice. Go ahead and draw that right knee in. We're going to start making circles with that knee. One of my recent graduates says, it's like stirring a pot. I love that imagery. So imagine you're kind of stirring the pot. Sometimes living out our purpose, living out the passions in our heart are really about kind of stirring the pot up a little bit. Take it in the other direction. Good. We're going to go ahead and interlace the fingers behind the right leg. Take that heel high. And then point and flex the foot here. Rick Warren wrote this very simply, and I love what he had to say. He just says, if you're alive, there's purpose for your life. If you're alive, there's purpose for your life. We're going to flex the toes back toward the nose. On the inhale, take a hold of your leg and begin to open it out to the right. You can take the left arm out to the left for counterbalance. You might even let that left knee kind of go out to the left a little bit as well. Breathe into this, opening into that inner thigh and groin area. If you want to, you can add a little movement. Sometimes it feels good to kind of circle out the foot and ankle. It also helps to release the hamstrings that can kind of keep things a little tight in the backside of our legs. Nice. We're going to go ahead and bring that leg back up. Bend the knee, place the ankle just above your left knee with the foot flexed. So make sure that foot's nice and flexed. And then gently press that right knee forward to open into that right hip a little bit. Feel that space. Breathe. And then we'll go ahead and inhale, bringing that left knee in, flex into both feet, and then just rock a little here side to side. Starting to loosen up into that right hip. This rocking motion helps the tissues release the grip on the bones. Coming back to center. We'll take that heel high, release the grip, and then begin to reach for your foot. And then we're just going to kind of pulse, like we're reaching and pulsing as we reach for that left foot. Draw your navel deeply to your spine, engage here. Good, reach and hold, squeeze. And then slowly lower down. We'll unravel those legs for a moment, draw the knees in, rock a few times side to side. Keep your eyes closed, maybe notice the difference in the way the two sides feel. It's important to notice those subtle shifts and changes, or maybe not so subtle. Throughout our yoga practice, it's just a practice of mindfulness and awareness. Feeling the effects of our practice. Good. Go ahead and float that right foot down, knees bent, and then holding on to the left knee, we're going to begin to stir the pot here, opening into that hip. Breathe into this. Go in the other direction. Nice job. Interlace the fingers behind that left leg. We'll take the heel high and then point and flex the foot here. So when we do this, the calf acts like a little pump, helping to return blood and lymphatic fluid back toward the heart. Also bringing blood back toward the brain. Improving our circulation and our lymphatic flow. Good. Flex into the foot. We'll hold on to that leg with the left hand. Begin to open that out. Again, maybe the right arm comes out to the side for counterbalance. Right knee comes out to the side a little too. Focus on your breath here. Again, maybe you want to circle out the foot and the ankle. Maybe there's a little popping and cracking as you create some space in those joints. Nice. Flex into that foot. Let's bring the leg back up, bend into the knee. And then place that left ankle on top of your right knee. Use your left hand to gently press that knee away from the body. Make sure that foot is flexed. And breathe here. Breathing out our doubts, our insecurities, maybe fear, those things that keep us from really living out our purpose, our unique purpose for our life. World needs you now more than ever. Interlace your fingers behind your right leg. Let's draw that knee in, flexing the feet, rocking here. Just loosening into that hip, loosening into the low back a little bit. Coming back to center, let's take that heel high. Release the grip, and then we're going to reach to the foot and pulse. As you pulse, keep the breath flowing, so don't hold the breath. Nice. Reach and hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Slowly lower down, unravel those legs, give those knees a nice hug here. We're going to roll to one side, just pause there for a moment, resting on that inner arm. David Viscott said, the purpose of life is to discover your gift. The work of life is to develop it. The meaning of life is to give your gift away. So these gifts that we have are meant to be shared with the world. We're going to slowly begin to come up onto all fours. Feel free to use a blanket under those knees if you'd like to for some additional support for your knees, especially if you're healing in the knees. And then you may want to have a couple blocks near the front of your mat. Actually, bring the blocks underneath the hands. We're going to do this a little differently today. So line up the blocks with maybe the outer edges of your mat. So your arms are a little wider than usual. And the hands are still stacking right underneath our shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips, about hip width distance apart. And then on the inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone up, press the navel down, slide the heart forward, and lift the crown. It's going to feel a little different with the blocks and the hands wider, but it's going to create space for your heart. On the exhale, gently curl the tail, draw the navel in, round your back, and bring your chin to your chest. We're going to continue to move like this in cat-cow, really allowing the heart to open. So the heart is the center and seat of our passions, our desires, our purposes, and our endeavors. It's also the center and seat of courage, the courage that it takes for us to make those passions come to life, to walk our purpose and our passion out. And when our purpose meets our passion, there is no stopping us. So we're opening the heart from the front and the back. Beautiful job. Keeping the knees stacking over the hips, walk those blocks out in front of you. And then we're going to begin to melt the heart here. Big opening into the chest and the heart space. So ears come to the insides of those biceps. Tail is lifting, long, straight spine. The crown will not come down to the floor. It's just going to hover. Ears are lining up with the insides of the biceps. Melt here. Breathe. Good. Take those hands off the blocks, back to the mat, about hip width, or shoulder width distance apart. We're going to tuck those toes, press the chest back toward those thighs. Take a moment here to open up the bottoms of the feet, but also really press into your fingertips. So the pads of the fingers, the roots of the fingers, like you're pushing the mat forward. Draw your navel deeply toward your spine, and we're going to begin to lift those hips high. Walk the dog out. At any point, if you aren't down for down dog, come into child's pose. Keep breathing here. In that same upper body, ears lining up with the insides of the biceps, long straight spine, tail lifting up and back. Good. On your inhale, walk your hands backward toward your feet. Then into your knees, let your belly press to your thighs. Release the head down. Nice job. On the inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins. Straightening those legs mostly, but keeping a soft bend to keep us from hyperextending those knees. On the exhale, fold out, forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, belly to the thighs. Good. On the inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Ride that breath up. Opening the heart a little here, maybe taking those arms wide. On the exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. Good. On the inhale, sweep arms, lift up. Exhale, bend forward, bending those knees. Folding out. Inhaling, lifting, halfway for length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep, all the way up to standing. Maybe adding that little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breathing. Inhale, lift halfway. And then we're going to walk those hands forward to the front of the mat again. So here, we're going to come into high push-up. So you may choose to do this high variation, or you might choose to bring the knees down with the tops of the feet to the floor. Either way, we're hugging those thighs toward each other, drawing the navel deeply in toward our spine, pressing into our hands to broaden the back. Nice. On the exhale, begin to lift those hips high, press back to your down dog. You can always go from a kneeling plank back to child's too. That's another option. Inhale, back to that push-up position again. Knees can be down here. And then we can exhale, press back to child's. Or you're pressing back to down dog. So work at your own level. Good. Coming back, high push-up. Exhaling, child's or down dog. Good. Bend the knees, and we're going to walk the feet to the front of the mat. Feet will be hip-width distance apart. Bend those knees, release your belly toward your thighs. Good. On the inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up, but take a block with you. So come on up. And then we're going to place that block between our thighs. Okay? So first, we're going to feel what mountain feels like with a really deep inner spiral. So we're hugging the block with our thighs in this mountain pose. Softening the tailbone down, drawing that navel in, up, and back. Shoulders release back and down, heart is nice and open, crown is lifting toward the ceiling. Good. On the exhale, we're going to reach the arms forward as we set our tail back. Coming into a modified chair pose. Good, we're going to do this a few times. So inhale, come back up. Mountain pose. Exhale, sink down. Modified chair. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come down. Beautiful. Inhale, coming up to mountain. And then exhale, back to chair. Now we're going to stay here. Check that you can see your toes. If you have a sway in the back, kind of curl that tail under, draw the navel in. We want to make sure that the knees do not move forward or back. So lock them in like you're hugging them, gluing them to that block. On your next exhale, open up to the right. Coming into a twisted chair. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, back to center. Beautiful. Exhale to the right. Sharing our gifts with other people. Inhale, coming back to center, regrouping. Filling back up again. Exhale, offer it to the left. Inhale, coming back. And one more time each side. Good. Back to center. And to the left. Nice job. Back to center. We're going to go ahead and move the block out of the way. Inhale, sweep. Take a nice big stretch. Lengthen that body. Exhale, hands through heart center, folding out, bending those knees. On the inhale, lift halfway. You can bring hands to blocks if you wish, or to the floor. We're going to pick up our right leg and then extend it back. Hips are level with the floor. Navel's drawing in here. Keep breathing. And now from here, we're gonna bring our left hand over to, if you're imagining a clock, to about 11 o'clock, but underneath that left shoulder. And then bring your right hand to your hip if that's available. If it's not available, keep the right hand down and just begin to lift your right hip up. Turning your toes out. Keep lifting that hip. If you want to, you can reach the right hand high, coming into this balancing half moon. Again, the hand might be down on the block and you might just be lifting that right hip and rotating the toes to face more out. Beautiful job. Bend into your left knee. We're going to float that foot all the way back. So landing with the foot parallel to the back of your mat. Good. Left knee is tracking with your left foot. Forearm is to the thigh. And then we're going to lift the right hip, lift the right shoulder in that same kind of position we were doing, but now we're in, obviously a different foundation. Right hand high. Nice open position here. Keep breathing. On the exhale, come on up to warrior two. Turn the palms up, let the shoulders relax down. Front knee is moving forward, breathe. Gaze can be over your front hands. Just imagine yourself, it's that receiving and giving taking place, like it's moving through you. On the inhale, go ahead and reverse your warrior. Right hand down, left hand high. Tapping into the source. God, the divine, whatever fills you. You're plugging right into the source. Exhaling, coming back, warrior two. And then we're going to straighten our front leg and slide forward. Coming into triangle pose. Float that hand to the inside of your ankle. Right hand comes high. Beautiful. Keep opening up here. On the exhale, bend into that knee. Coming back to side angle. We're right here. Inhale. Warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the leg and slide forward. Inhale, drop the hand, triangle. Exhale, bend the knee, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, slide forward, straighten that front leg. Inhale, left hand down, right hand high into triangle. Beautiful, one more time, exhaling, bending that knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the leg and slide forward. Inhale, triangle. Beautiful job. Exhale, let's bend that front knee, windmill those hands all the way down, coming on the ball of that back foot. Hands to the floor, and then step your front foot back, finding that high push-up position. Again, knees can be down. Exhale, taking it back to a down dog or child's. Inhale, coming back to that high push-up. Exhale, hips come high. Inhale, back to push-up. Exhale, hips high, and then you can stay here or everybody come down into that child's pose for a rest before we pick up the other side. Breathe here. That was a long sequence and a challenging one. So come back to your breathing. Steve Maraboli said, you were put on this earth to achieve your greatest self, to live out your purpose, and to do it courageously. Focus on your breath. We're going to slowly press back up. Bring those knees to hip width distance. Press up into that down dog position. Bend the knees and slowly step the feet forward to the front of the mat. Feet about hip width distance apart, bending those knees deeply, taking a moment to breathe here. On the inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Take a moment to feel into all that space. Exhale, bring hands to heart center, bending the knees, folding it out. Again, you can bring hands to blocks here or to the floor, just depending. Grounding down into that right foot, we're going to take that left foot straight back. Nice. We're going to place that right hand at about 2 o'clock now, but making sure the hand is right underneath the shoulder. You can keep the left hand down or begin to bring it to your left hip. Either way, we're going to start lifting that left hip up and dialing the toes out. Maybe reaching that hand high. Coming into that half moon position. Lots of breath. On the exhale, bend into your right knee. We're going to bring that foot all the way down, pivoting so it's parallel with the back of your mat. Right forearm to the right thigh. Begin to lift your left hip, lift your left shoulder. So we're peeling our chest open, keeping a nice open heart. And then reach that left hand high. Breathe here. On your next inhale, slowly come up, warrior two. Check in, that front knee is tracking, not collapsing, so it's tracking with that front foot. Turn the palms up for a moment, just receive. Lots of breath. Nice job. On your next inhale, let's reverse this, reaching high. Check in with your breath. Exhaling, coming back up to warrior two. Straighten into that front leg, slide forward, get long. Then reach that hand down to the inside of the ankle or leg. Left hand high, triangle pose. Beautiful job. On the exhale, bend the knee, forearm to the thigh. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten that leg and slide forward. Inhale, triangle. Exhale, bend that knee, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten and slide forward. Inhale, triangle. Beautiful. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, straighten, slide forward. Inhale, back to triangle. Exhale, windmill those hands all the way down, coming back into that low runner's lunge position. Step your front foot back to high push-up. Feel free to release the knees to the floor, coming into a straight line like a board. Exhale, take it back, child's or down dog. 2 more times, inhaling, coming back. Exhale, take it back to down dog. Inhale. Finding that plank, strong in your position. Exhale, take it back. And everybody, come on down. Child's pose. Breathe and rest here for a moment. Releasing your head. Bowing to your heart. Oftentimes, we are the ones that overthink and get in our own way. Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras, said, when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction. And you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Letting ourselves be inspired by some great work, some great project, some great purpose. Helps us to free our mind and break all the bonds, all the things that hold us back. We're going to slowly walk our hands over to the right, just finding a nice lateral stretch into that left side. So walk the hands over, drawing that left hip back, stretching into the whole left side body. Breathing here. Coming back to the center and then over to the left. Stretching into that right side, really draw that right hip back. Come back to the center. And then we're gonna do a little thread the needle. So you can stay down here in child, or you can begin to lift the hips, but we're gonna thread that right arm through over to the left and come down onto the right shoulder and ear. Now you can just relax that left arm if you want, or you can walk it forward. You can even reach it up or wrap it around the small of the back. Just go with what feels best for your body today. Stretching into the shoulder, opening the back side of our heart. Slowly walk that left hand back toward you if you need to. And then we'll slowly unravel, reach that right arm in front of you and then thread the needle on the left. So the left arm comes through over to the right and then lower down. Again, take whatever variation you want with that right hand. Keep breathing. Keep releasing. Good. Slowly unravel. And then we're just going to take the knees so that they're underneath the hips. You're going to slide your legs back so you can lower down onto your belly. This is going to be a little different than what we often do. So I want you to be really mindful of your body here. But we're going to come out into like a cross shape, a T shape. Turn your head to the left, so resting on that right cheek. Good. You're going to bring your left arm in alongside your left side of your chest. Bend into your left knee. And then we're going to start to roll to open up onto our side. You're going to stretch into that right shoulder. So you can even bring that left foot back to touch the floor. Only if that feels okay for your body. Please listen to your body. Stretching the chest from the front side. Deeper shoulder stretch. Again, only going as far as feels okay for you or not doing it at all. Slowly roll out of that, coming back onto the belly, arms out. Left cheek to the mat. Right hand alongside your right rib cage. Bend into the right knee, and then begin to roll onto your left and maybe bring that foot back to touch. Focus on your breath. Slowly unravel. Bring both arms or both hands in. And then we're just going to press up. And then swing the legs around, coming onto our back. Here you won't need that blanket underneath the hips anymore. So if you had a blanket, you can move it out of the way. You can feel free to use that for the head, if you like. And then we're going to come back onto our back. Draw your knees to your chest. Rock a little here, side to side. Holding on to the right knee, let's send that left leg out long. Take a hold of the knee with your left hand, bring the right arm out to the side like a wing. And then we're going to gently guide that knee across the body over to the left. Let the right hip lift, but keep the right shoulder blade grounded. You might choose to gaze over your right hand. And just breathe deeply into this twist. Twists are wonderful for helping detoxify the body. So it's like we're wringing out a dirty washcloth here. Think about what things you can eliminate, what things that are toxic. In terms of maybe your thoughts, beliefs, energies, things that you hold on to that hold you back. Slowly begin to unravel. And then we'll draw the left knee in, send the right leg out long. Holding onto that knee with your right hand, take the left arm out to the side, and then slowly begin to guide that leg over. Maybe gazing over your left hand, soften that left shoulder. Relax it. Maybe you're breathing out through an open mouth, just assisting in this letting go, and this wringing out of old stuff. we'll slowly unravel that. Get back onto the back, knees to chest, or feel free if you'd like to take those knees wide or even come into a happy baby. So you can reach for the opening, take a hold of the feet or the backs of the ankles or knees, and then begin to stack those feet like you're stamping your feet on the ceiling, drawing the shoulders back and down, keep softening the tailbone down. Or do whatever feels good in these last final moments just to kind of round out your practice. Child's pose was just calling to me, so who knows what shows up for you. Draw those knees in, coming into a big full body stretch, lengthen. Inhale deeply through nose. Exhale out an open mouth. Good. A couple more like that, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through an open mouth. And then one more until you find yourself settling into your final rest position. The most important part of your practice, an opportunity to integrate your practice, to be still, to feel that connection, mind, heart, body, and spirit. I want to read to you a poem from You Are Not Too Much by Jeanette LeBlanc. And it just kind of speaks to purpose and releasing ourselves to that. She says, unlock it, poet. Let loose the words. Unconstrain your endless restraint. Seduce your muse. Release your wild. Welcome this rebellion. Usher it inside. Sit it down by the fire and dance into the night. You are an uprising, a revolution unto yourself. The scarcity is over, the rationing has ended, and there are words enough for all of us. This is the root of your commitment, the space of your deepest promise, that eternal vow, to live out loud, to speak freedom, to own the deep of your existence, and to know it is true and good and worthy and whole. Slowly begin to bring some awareness back to your physical body, back to your breath. Begin to bring some gentle movement to your body, wiggling fingers and toes, or taking a nice big full body stretch, or maybe rocking your head from side to side. Just a slow awakening. Gently bring your knees to your chest and just give yourself a nice hug of gratitude. Showing up here and showing up in your life. As you're ready, begin to roll to whichever side seems intuitive. Pausing there for a moment in this fetal position, a position of unlimited possibility, unlimited potential. As you're ready, gently begin to press yourself up into a seated position, taking your time. Take one hand and rest it on your heart, the center and seat of your passions, your purposes, your endeavors. Rest and courage, and rest the other hand over your belly, center and seat of empowerment, will, determination, and drive. Your life has purpose. Your story is important. Your dreams count. Your voice matters. You were born to make an impact. Bring your hands together at heart center and bow your head to your heart. The purpose in me sees and honors the purpose in you. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for being here.